Township of Roxbury in the County of Morris, New Jersey, hereby authorized to make the following sanitary. So here's what they're gonna do.
Call the meeting to order, please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amy, please read the open public meeting statement.
Adequate notice of this meeting of the Township Council of the Township of Roxbury was given as required by the Open Public Meetings Act as follows. On December 31st, 2025, notice was emailed and faxed to the Daily Record, the North Star Ledger, the West Marsh Reporter, and published in the Daily Record. Notice shall also remain posted throughout the yard and bulletin board in the main hallway of the municipal building.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Albrecht.
Here.
Councilman Carey.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Crowley.
Here.
Councilman DiFilippo.
Here.
Councilman Hall.
Here.
Councilman Riley.
Here. Here. I'm gonna go ahead and give an opening statement. So Roxbury Township remains firmly opposed to proposed federal processing facility pushed forward under former Secretary Christy Nome for the reasons clearly laid out in Resolution 2026-029. These concerns include the site's inappropriate location within a residential area, substantial limitations on water and sewer capacity, environmental impacts, and significant traffic risks at one of the township's most hazardous intersections. In addition, the proposal could place strain on our 42-member police department and all volunteer fire and EMS, slowing these services down for our residents, while also resulting in the immediate loss of approximately $1.8 million in tax revenue for our community. In response, Roxbury Township, in partnership with the state of New Jersey, has initiated legal action against the federal government to challenge the proposal of the conversion of a warehouse at 1879 Route 46 into an ICE detention facility. Mr. Bucco is stuck in traffic, but he continues to represent our township in this matter and will provide an update as soon as he gets here in a few minutes. So again, as of today, no application or permit requests have been filed with the Township of Roxbury. No plans have been submitted and no additional information has been provided by the Department of Homeland Security. We have formally invited Secretary Mullen through Senator Kim's office to visit Roxbury Township. There is no set date or confirmation, but positive messages have been returned from Senator Kim's office on this meeting. This council remains unwavering in its commitment to safety, protection, and best interest of Roxbury Township. Moving on. Presentations, award, etc. There are none. Moving on to item 5, approval of minutes, April 14, 2026, regular meeting, April 21st, 2026, neighborhood meeting.
I'll make a motion.
A motion and a second. Any discussion on this? Any discussion on this? Roll call?
Councilwoman Albrecht.
Yes.
Councilman Carey.
Abstaining on April 14th and, yes on the 21st.
Deputy Mayor Crowley.
Yes.
Councilman DiFilippo.
Yes.
Councilman Hall.
Yes.
Councilman Riley.
Yes.
Mayor Patillo.
Yes, this brings us to our first public portion. Does anyone in the audience wish to be heard on township business? Please come to the microphone. We will have a second public portion later on the agenda.
How you guys doing tonight? I'm Eric Darty. I'm with the local floor bricklayers and allied craft workers in New Jersey. I'm the apprentice coordinator and the training director, and I just want to say on our behalf that we are excited to work with you guys through our direct hire program to take care of your sidewalks in your township of Roxbury. We definitely look forward to working with all you guys, and I think you're going to have a great outcome because we have a great membership base and apprenticeship program to go behind that, to have some upcoming apprentices and journeymen to be working with you guys to get your sidewalks fixed.
Excellent. Excellent. We're excited for the program to start.
More importantly, Steve's excited.
Yes, Steve, very excited. Steve, do you want to come up and add anything?
Just, maybe just
Discuss the program a little
Summary
bit,
of the
savings in
program.
it.
So, you know, obviously, as the council knows, we've been after the sidewalks now for 20+ years. And we've had some successes and we've had some challenges with a variety of different things, with just availability, getting people to show up. So, you know, this program, with the aid of the bricklayers, we're gonna be able to dictate a lot of that work, where they have a very strong labor force. We're gonna work hand in hand with them, and we're gonna be able to determine where and when the work happens. And obviously, we're gonna be able to stretch our tax dollars with this project as well. We're not paying profit margin where we have done so in the past, so we're really looking forward to this program, ultimately to benefit the residents and kind of resolve a lot of these sidewalk issues that we've had out there for so many years.
Thank you, Steve. I know you put a lot of effort and energy into this program, and making it come to fruition. You know, more bang for our taxpayers' dollar, and a quicker process, right?
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Linda McMahon. I live in Succothuna, and I do come to these council meetings as often as I can to show how supportive I am of Roxbury Township, this township that I do love. And it's just a brief statement. I know that everything that's going on, the condos and, you know, the other facilities and all that in our town is going to affect all of us as people, as residents of Roxbury Township, but I'm supportive of my township. And I have to be supportive of all of you because of that, but I shouldn't say but. I didn't mean to say it like that, just that I am
Thank you.
supportive of my town. I love my town. Thank you.
No one else? I'll close this public portion. Item 7, reports of council liaison representative, council committee, new business, old business. I have nothing this week. Deputy Mayor?
Thank you, Mayor. A couple things. We had an economic development meeting tonight. One of the good news is that we're revamping the website on EDC. Actually, we're revamping the whole township website. And you'll see that it'll change a little bit. But all pieces will look like they all lock together. And that's what we're working for. And I want to thank Rob Hunt and everybody who's putting into that. Going to a product called Civic Plus that we've used for other sites for many years, but now we're trying to get the whole township behind that website. We also attended the, it's called CAC meetings. It's a Citizen Advisory Committee for Liquor Pacom. It was set up by a court ruling. Essentially, it's a group from all the towns around the lake, looking at water quality and water height. As you know, that there's always a controversy, how much they drain the lake, how much water has to go down the lake must connect on the river. When to refill, when the ice is off. This committee is the one that works on that with the DEP, trying to determine what the rules are. And so we had our second meeting. We didn't have a meeting for about 3 years in that. Now the Lake Commission has taken over the CAC and chairing it, so now we had 2 meetings. So I have.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Councilwoman Albrecht?
I actually don't have anything this week.
Councilman Hall?
I think Jackie does have some very good news that you want to share with us, Jackie.
My daughter may have gotten engaged last week. And thrilled.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Jackie. Lots of stuff going on, folks. Just for council's notification, at our neighborhood meeting coming up, we're going to attempt to bring in some of our sports programs, take care of some of the backlog we have. This will be the Eisenhower Middle School basketball and soccer teams, which won county titles over the last fall and last winter. We had our annual street cleanup at the Black River, and pulled up quite a bit of garbage, to be quite honest with you. Unfortunate is that people did a great job. A big shout out to the Rear Headwaters Association. These people are good people, and they always help sponsor this, along with the Roxbury Environmental Commission. Had good participation, cleaned up the park, and the park couldn't look any better, I gotta be celebration at the Recreation Center. The combination of Roxbury Environmental Commission, Roxbury, the Roxbury Township got together on this one, and we handed out over 400 trees. And it was a very, very nice event, and people were very thankful, and hopefully everyone went back and planted those trees and start to replant Roxbury. Our community cleanup was canceled on the 25th, which is a terrible, terrible day, so that is going to be rescheduled for next year. One thing I went to this, they had a celebration, ribbon cutting ceremony for the aviation program. I don't know if people realize it now, but we have, the high school has an aviation program, and it's really very unique. And what they did is they brought in the donors of a Cessna, and they came in for the ribbon cutting, and I was showing around on how to actually operate a Cessna. It doesn't really work right now, but it will someday. And one of the interesting parts of this is that the person that was showing this was a high school senior, and he's like, listen, a lot of these gauges, the horizons and the brakes, they all, they were all listed right on the dash. He was showing me how to use them. He's like, but they've changed quite a bit over the years. Just keep in mind, this thing's pretty old. It's from 1959. I had to tell him, so was I. So it was very, very well done. It's something special about high school. They did a good job with that. We had a boys lacrosse tournament this weekend, so if you passed by Horseshoe Lake, that's what that was. We had over 80 teams in that. The girls' portion of it is this weekend. If you get a chance to come and see it, it's a pretty good event that's put on for that. We also host on May 6th or 9th, if you're around it, Atlantic Park is the girls' high school softball championships for Morris County. So hopefully, our girls will get in there. If not, we'll still have the tournament. And we've been hosting that for over 10 years now. May 13th, I believe, Steve, we're going to have the tree planting at Horseshoe Lake. We have a Memorial Day parade on May the 25th, and we have the beach blast on May the 29th, so don't miss those items. And I think I've covered it all there. That's it for me.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Riley?
This your council committee seems like a late, just a couple things to point out. We had Fire Chief, Past Chief dinner for Steve Cobbs last Saturday. It was very nice. And a lot of people I know use Valley
federal government's purchased the warehouse on February 19th in Roxbury by DHS. Took $1.8 million off the tax rolls. As the governing body, Roxbury Township is obligated to collect and distribute taxes collected to the Roxbury School District as well as Morris County, and the township fully plans to meet our fiscal obligations. By law, the NBT was established in early January 2026 for the fiscal year. Before the property was purchased by the federal government, the previous owner paid the first quarter taxes. The first quarter taxes collected were redistributed to Morris County and the Roxbury School District already. The 2026 taxes owed on the warehouse property for Morris County are approximately $210,000. Morris County has agreed to work with Roxbury Township on its share of tax revenue, understanding that Roxbury cannot collect taxes moving forward on the warehouse parcel now owned by the federal government. 2026 taxes owed on the warehouse property to the school district are $1,147,022. Regrettably, the school district's administration has informed the township it intends to continue to require the township, or specifically its residents, to close a budget gap they created by not putting forward a budget that reflected the publicly disclosed lost tax revenue. The township is looking at figuring out how to close this new gap. It could cause the delay of much needed township projects such as the Parks Building, replacement of Imagination Station, much needed DPW equipment, or other impactful projects. Whether DHS moves forward with this project or not, we are going to fight to make sure the Department of Homeland Security helps lessen our fiscal burden.
Unfortunate. Thank you for that update. Anything else tonight? Mr. Lugo, can you provide us an update on the litigation?
First, I apologize. I was at a veterans service program that went a little longer than I anticipated. But as you know, at the end of March, the township, in conjunction with the state of New Jersey, filed a complaint against the Department of Human Services, DHS, and that complaint was filed shortly thereafter. In conjunction with the state again, the township applied for a preliminary injunction. DHS submitted opposition to that application last Thursday. In their opposition, there were some inconsistent statements. There were also changes in some of the facts that we had been previously told regarding the number of folks that might be housed at the warehouse. All of that has been taken into consideration, and we are presently working with the Attorney General's office on our final response to their opposition. That final response is due Friday, provided there is not an extension of time depending on what happens between now and the completion of our response. So as of now, the date is Friday, but that could be subject to extension. So the case continues to move forward, and then we'll see what happens once court date is set.
Thank you. Councilman DeFilippo.
In response though, correct me if I'm wrong, counsel, did DHS certify that they had done no interior work in that renovations of any kind?
They did. Nothing has been done at the site as of yet. They did indicate that they were in the process of starting an environmental assessment, which should have been done prior to them purchasing the building, which is part of the NEPA requirements. So we'll see. we'll see how far along they get.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on, the matters requested referred by council members, managers, attorney, or clerk, there are none. Item 9, introduction of proposed ordinances. 12-26, an ordinance amending chapter 5 and 24 of the revised general ordinance of the township of Roxbury and establishing the fee for potentially dangerous dog license. Second reading, May 12th. Motion is introduction.
Second.
All in favor? Item 10, hearing and adoption of ordinances on second reading. 07-26, an ordinance authorizing the conveyance of township-owned real property to Morris Habitat for Humanity, Inc., 270 Mount Arlington Boulevard, Block 12002, Lot 4.
Open it to the public.
Second. All in favor? Does anybody in the public wish to be heard on this ordinance and this ordinance alone? Please come to the microphone. Seeing none, I'll close public.
Second.
All in favor? Motion to adopt?
Second.
Roll call?
Councilwoman Albrecht.
Yes.
Councilman Terry.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Crowley.
Yes.
Councilman DiFilippo.
Yes.
Councilman Hall.
Yes.
Councilman Riley.
Yes.
Mayor Patillo.
Yes. Second reading for 09-26. Capital ordinance to authorize the making of various public improvements and the acquisition of new, additional, or replacement equipment and machinery, new information technology equipment, and new automotive vehicles by and for the Township of Roxbury and the County of Morris, State of New Jersey, and to appropriate the sum of $3,353,261 from various grants, open space trust funds, and capital improvement funds of the township to pay the cost thereof.
That's 09-26? Yeah. Okay, I'll move to open that in public, you skip the week. Oh, got it.
Okay.
Yeah, 08-26 is being deferred, carried till the May 12th, meeting.
Thank you. A motion to open.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Does anybody in the public wish to come up and be heard on this ordinance and this ordinance alone?
Make a motion to close? Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Move to adopt.
Make a motion to adopt?
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Councilwoman Albrecht.
Yes.
Councilman Terry.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Crowley.
Yes.
Councilman DiFilippo.
Yes.
Councilman Hall.
Yes.
Councilman Riley.
Yes.
Mayor Patillo.
Yes. Second reading, 10-26, capital ordinance of the Township of Roxbury and the County of Morris, New Jersey, authorizing the making of various water system improvements and the acquisition of a new automotive vehicle, including original apparatus and equipment in and by and for the water utility of the township, appropriating therefore the sum of $430,000 from the water utility capital improvement fund of the township. Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody in the public wish to be heard on this ordinance and this ordinance alone? Please come to the microphone, state your name and address for the record.
Hi, Lee Remington, Chester Township. I'm concerned about this ordinance and the one following it. So, we know that one of the main problems with this warehouse being turned into a detention center for more than 1,500 people is the water and sewer. Why are we putting so much of taxpayer dollars directly out of Roxbury? $1 million to the sewer, $500,000 to the water right now, while we're trying to get an injunction through to slow things down.
This has nothing to do with the
If
warehouse.
you increase sewer capacity or water capacity,
That's not what this ordinance is about.
okay, the next one is.
This is just the maintenance.
Well, we're only talking about
of
this.
our water system. And
Okay,
it's
I'll
also
come
not-
back in a moment.
It's not
Thank
tax
you.
dollars either, these are, the money comes from the users, these are paid through user fees, utilities, so it's not the township's, tax.
Okay, I'm just expressing my concern of the timing for water and sewage upgrades
I
at
get
this
it,
very
yeah.
moment.
I
To
fully
the
understand.
Department of Homeland Security, DHS, Department of Homeland Security.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Albrecht. Yes. Councilman Carey.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Crowley.
Yes.
Councilman DeFilippo.
Yes.
Councilman Hall.
Yes.
Councilman Riley.
Yes.
Mayor Patillo.
Yes. Second reading 11-26, capital ordinance of the Township of Roxbury and the County of Morris, New Jersey, authorizing the making of various sanitary sewer system improvements in and by and for the sewer utility of the township, appropriating therefore the sum of $990,000 from the sewer utility capital improvement fund. Can I have a motion to public? All in favor? Anybody in the public who should be heard on this ordinance alone?
Hi, my name is Atish Gupta. I'm in Newton. I was wondering, so I was here for the budget deliberations. It seems like there's a market increase in the amount that is being put towards the sewer. Is there a reason that this ordinance is being passed now, instead of during the budget hearing? It hasn't changed.
It may seem that way because we're going, every year we go through these ordinances. But no, I think this is not,
Okay.
there's nothing unusual about any of these. These are all in the maintenance.
So do you have information about what areas of the town will be serviced by these improvements?
These are maintenance things. We have yearly maintenance for everything. That makes it up, that makes utility work.
This plan didn't just develop in the last couple of months. This is years
The
long.
ordinance does describe in the ordinance what the money is being appropriated for.
Okay. I appreciate your transparency on that.
Motion to close.
I'll move 11.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilwoman Albrecht. Yes. Councilman Carey. Deputy Mayor Crowley. Councilman DeFilippo.
Yes.
Councilman Hall.
Yes.
Councilman Riley.
Yes.
Mayor Patillo.
Yes. Introduction and adoption of resolution.
Mayor, I'll move 2026-098 to include 2026-099 for 2026-.
Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilwoman Albrecht. Yes. Councilman Carey. Deputy Mayor Crowley. Councilman DeFilippo. Councilman Hall.
Yes.
Councilman Riley. Mayor Patillo.
Yes. Item 14, personnel changes, there are none. 15, communications, April 24th, 2026. Any discussion? All right. This brings us to our second public portion. If anybody in the public wishes to be heard on any topic, please come to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. Please maintain 3 minutes, hold on 1 appearance per person.
Hello, my name is Susanna Oliveri. I'm from Landing, 21 Key Road. On page 23 of the DHS response to our case, Roxbury in New Jersey versus ICE, DHS did disclose important facts about its plans for the facility to the County Planning and Zoning Board, as stated in Exhibit 1, pages 13 through 17 that were attached to the legal response. This was signed in February and provided in March. Did anyone here in this room receive a copy of this from the County Planning Board? Did anybody review it since it's been updated and provided through the public posting that was made with the response? Has anybody reviewed the planning exhibit pages 13 through 17?
Just look at it.
Did you review it? Is it the whole document from
Since
DHS?
it was
Since it was
provided to me,
published?
yes.
Okay, so you should be aware of that. So there's some key improvements, installing a 4,600 linear feet perimeter security fencing, constructing a 150-foot guard shack, building 4 exterior recreation courts on existing asphalt, and adding exterior lighting, security cameras, telecom, and 100 kilowatt emergency generators. Have you looked at doing any immediate zoning modifications that could be made based on these planned recommendations?
We can move on to the next question.
Okay, then I'll give you some that are suggested. The First one, define mass detention as distinct from warehouse or light industrial zoning. This would trigger a high bar D variance, and you would need public hearings for institutional housing. Recreational areas, enforce DEP real rules requiring water and quality treatment for any redevelopment of asphalt areas. Even with no added footprint, repurposing of asphalt for recreation now triggers a complex storm filtration and highlands 0% net increase mandates. Lighting, zone mandate for dark sky lighting and a 10 p.m. 50% dimming curfew. This would create an operational conflict, whereas the federal 24/7 security standards cannot be complied with. Fencing, ban any security style fencing over 6 feet with razor and or electric or barbed wire within the township of Roxbury. Security cameras, ban residential facing security cameras enforcing a strict zone of a 25 scape landscaping buffer. Generator, ban 1,000 kilowatt generators from being used within the township of Roxbury for any building zoned as mass detention, or require generators to be framed in box, which violates existing impervious coverage ratios. Security shack, zoning ordinance to prohibit any additional structures be added to the property because the warehouse is already itself maxed out due to impervious coverage. Just want to make a side note that I wanted to build a flower box, and I was told that I would need a engineering study, a design, and a what is it called, before I could even put in a flower box. Please do your job.
Good evening, great hearts of the beautiful town of Roxbury. My name is Rabbi Moshe Rudin, 841 Mountain Way in Parsippany. I just being here and seeing your webpage about all that you've done to oppose the ICE incursion into your township. That makes me proud of you. You really are at ground zero, and I wanted to add my words that I, as the chair of the Morris County Human Relations Commission, wanted to share some support that we were sending a letter to our governor, the Honorable Mike Sherrill, that I'd like to have read here for your record. Dear Governor Sherrill, as members of the Morris County Human Relations Commission, we are shocked and horrified by the actions taken by the Federal Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency in our county and beyond. Due to these actions, our Morris County community, whose stability and diversity testify to the strength of American values and law, has been disrupted, and our residents have been subjected to violence, intimidation, sudden arrest, and internment. These draconian measures are carried out without transparency or due legal process. The presence of an ICE detention center in Roxbury and Morris County, with the attendant illegal internment of people under the humane conditions we have seen in Newark's Delaney Hall, has cast a pall of fear and distrust over the general public. We have seen how a student doing his family's laundry was seized, how children and parents are afraid to perform the normal daily acts of living, such as attending work or school. We have seen how car chases, gunfire, and acts of violence have become the trademarks of ICE. The atmosphere of fear and shock created by ICE far exceeds the scope of the issues of immigration status. This must not be allowed in our civil society. We applaud your efforts to monitor and impede ICE's incursion into New Jersey as a whole, and Morris County specifically. We fully support your policy of implementing parts of the Immigrant Trust Act into law, and we urge you to make certain that New Jersey laws are enforced. The task of government is, above all, the protection and nurturing of the governed. By opposing the immoral and illegal implementation of the enforcement and removal operations in our county and in Roxbury, you have done much to fulfill that task. We thank you and support your efforts to persist in your fight against this erosion of our freedoms and basic human rights. Respectfully, Rabbi Moshe Rudin, representing the Morris County Human Relations Commission. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, David Foote, Lower Berkshire Valley in Roxbury. I've spoken here a few times over the last couple months. It's been a few weeks since I have come up here and spoken. I've been thinking a lot about like, you know, what I've said and what other people have said in conversations, and it gets a little contentious sometimes. I thought I'd try something a little different, because at the end of the day, and the gentleman who spoke before me put it so eloquently, and the statement that you read at the beginning of this, Mayor Patillo, I mean, you are standing against this, and that's a great thing. And I guess I have a question for you, which is basically, what can I do to help? You don't have to answer it right now. I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot, but I am a resident of Roxbury. This is obviously an issue that is extremely important to me because I keep coming here. And so I stand behind you and the rest of the council, and I want to support you in whatever way I can. I mean, I don't have a legal background or anything, but I do want to help. So I would ask if you guys could just think a little bit about this and you know, let me know what I can do, because I really want to help you guys out. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Patrick Gallagher. I live in Long Valley, New Jersey. I just want to say foremost, I definitely thank you for being transparent about the sewer and water stuff. I've been coming to a lot of these the last couple months. I sat through all those presentations. I totally understand the work that needs to be done on water and sewer. But thanks for answering my friend Optich's question about that. I'm also in the Democratic Socialists of America. I'm just here to, I'm sure you're aware that next week, 2 weeks from today, on May 12th in Newark, right, the court's going to be doing a hearing about this injunction. And, you know, me and a lot of the people that I organize with are hoping that they issue that preliminary injunction against the warehouse. And I'm just letting you know that at 9:30 at 50 Walnut Street in Newark, Project Ninja, North NJ DSA, Sussex Visibility Brigade, American Friends Service Committee, Roxbury Dems, Ex Christie, and other orgs, we're going to be having a nice rally to just kind of just to let people know what's going on, and to hope that this injunction gets passed. And hopefully some of you might already be there in some legal capacity, but it'd be cool to see you guys outside this room. We could hang out. All right, thank you.
Sierra Wilson from Bud Lake. I have a few quotes that I'd like to read for you today, as I do every other Tuesday now. The immigration officers are very derogatory. They look at you like you are inferior. They won't tend to you. They will look at you rudely. For them, it's like Latino people don't matter. This is from an asylum seeker who was 1 minute late to her citizenship hearing. She was detained by ICE and still remains, is something funny? She still remains in the ICE jail. I'd like to point out that Anthony Bucco was 15 minutes late to this appointment, and I was a minute late. I got in here as you were saying the pledge. Should I be detained? Should I be arrested, kidnapped, held in a cell, no wider than a bathroom? No. The next quote. The mothers tried to reach their children, and I saw children pressing up against the fence of the cage, trying to reach out to their mothers. But officials pulled the children away and yelled at the mothers. This is testimony from a California ICE jail. And finally, this is from David Cantor. He is a survivor of the Nazi Holocaust. So I'd like to read this, and I'll give you a minute after, just to let this sink in. The point of understanding the Holocaust in Europe is to prevent and halt other ones, not to remain narrowly focused on that particular one, traumatic though as it was. Thank you.
Good evening, Diana May, 30 Whisperway East, Ledgewood, here in Roxbury. Thank you, Senator Bucco, for the update on last week's DHS response to the temporary injunction request. I'd like to share my observations from my first reading of the response, and while I do not enjoy dry legalese documents, I did feel it was important to spend quite a bit of time going through it. But some things that were revealed in these documents is that DHS states that their plan is, as Mr. Bucco said, now to detain just 542 detainees here. This is far fewer than the 1,500 initially indicated. And to me, it's nonsensical given the enormous size of this warehouse. I feel it's convenient for them to lowball the number to address our concerns of water and sewer limitations. But how would we know if they far exceed this lowball number? We have no oversight authority over them. Their immediate plans, this to address Mr. DeFilippo's question. Their immediate plans include erecting temporary fencing, security cameras, and lighting in the next few weeks. Reconfiguring office space, adding communication wiring, installing an alarm system, and making any repairs over the coming months. They acknowledge the 6 federally threatened species in the area, and they promise that they'll contact the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service if they encounter any when they're doing their work. They promise. They revealed the project also includes an interior gun firing range for staff training. But don't worry, they have noise reduction so as to result in no measurable increase in ambient exterior noise. Again, what can we do afterward if the noise is disturbing to those neighbors that are so close by? They acknowledge that the wastewater and potable water systems might need to be upgraded for an increase in occupancy, but they promise to work with municipal sewer authority if upsizing were determined to be needed later. Mr. Mayor mentioned the fact about that intersection being a very dangerous one. They responded that this facility will not substantially increase the number of vehicles in the area. The timeline was revealed. They did a site reconnaissance on 12/3. They conducted a certificate of inspection on 1/8/26. I don't believe we can trust them when they have circumvented working with us all along. Their own response to the injunction request includes many contradictions. One document states that New York City has adopted over 1 million people. New Jersey, they expect to detain 351,000 people, and the limitations in Newark are 1,000, and in Elizabeth are 425. But yet they're only going to use our warehouse for 542. Finally, I do respectfully ask, when will the information provided by this DHS response be added to the ICE warehouse tab on our township website so that all of our residents can be up to date on the most current information? Thank you very much.
We were talking about before how our taxes are gonna have to fill the gap as they're not going to be paying the amount of money that we were getting off that building. We don't want to have that gap. We want to fill it ourselves because the federal government took away a building on our land for their use. We want an establishment that is there that isn't torturing humans to utilize it and to pay proper taxes. What are you doing in your rebuttal to refuse the sale of this property? It doesn't matter if it's 1,500 people or 540. We don't want any people in that warehouse, and it's not made for that. And they're not truthful in anything they say, so we can't believe them. As she just said, we can't believe anything that they say. What can be done in litigation rebuttal to emphatically state that we don't want them here? And also, without the environmental screening beforehand, does that make the sale illegal and void? Can we hold them responsible for not following directions and the proper protocol? And I also second what the gentleman said of what can we do to help? Is there anything that we can do except just stand here and talk about how we don't like it? Because we want to do something as a community, and anything we can do, whether we have the resources or we have the knowledge, it doesn't matter, we have the manpower. And I think a lot of the organizations show that people are willing to help, and we really, really want to do something about it. So any guidance you can give us is really appreciated. That aside, in my community, trees are being taken down. I was wondering if the trees along the sidewalk are going to be replaced. Yeah, Elon Wood.
Our DPW director has stepped out.
Okay.
He'll be the best.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening. My name is Anthony Lee. I'm from East Hanover, New Jersey. I am a member of the Democratic Socialists of America. First, I wanted to thank you all for taking legal action against the DHS. Understanding that if a town council going up against the federal government is probably a difficult thing. I, like the other speakers, hope that you do not, would ask that you don't trust DHS to play by the rules. Your own attorney noted the inconsistencies in the response. I did want to point out that number of 542 detainees has actually been used has actually been cited by ICE in every lawsuit that they've been presented with thus far. And it's not clear how they've reached that conclusion. Delaney Hall alone houses many more than that. Other than that, my organization's here, my comrades are here because we as Democratic Socialists see the connection between workers within the U.S. border and those without. We're all mothers and fathers trying to provide for their families. They're all trying to get by while corporations and people like Dolphin Industries and Goldman Sachs make deals that impact the towns that they operate in without any say from the people who live there or are elected officials, and then you have to clean up the mess. At the end of the day, it's all of us against them, and I just hope that you all remember that, and that everyone here remembers that. Thank you very much.
Anybody else wishes to be heard tonight, please step online for the closing of minutes.
Bonnie, she, her pronouns, Randolph. It's some questions, it's not controversial. Do you guys as a council get reports as to what's going on in the legal front? I know you guys have an attorney working obviously with the Attorney General, but is the council made aware of all the intricacies of what's going on?
We are informed by our.
Okay, thank you. Okay, as the process continues, unfortunately, are you guys allowed as individuals to act as individuals? Like to go to rallies, to do different things, or are you required, because you're town council members, that you're not allowed to do things outside, like have your own personal ideas? It's not a.
As the mayor, I represent the best interests of Roxbury County.
Okay. Everybody knows you guys are Republicans, and I'm not saying anything bad about Republicans, but we know that typically Republicans like watch Fox News and different things. So, I'm not being funny here, about the fact of, I hope you guys are watching, because what Fox News says about these detention facilities and what MS Now says about these detention facilities are two very different things. So I hope that you guys are getting the whole picture of what's going on. Again, not. And the last thing I'll say is, and I'm addressing you, Mayor Patello, I have a problem with the Senator's statement, Mr. Bruco's statement of "we'll see where it goes." That, I heard those words where "we'll see where it goes." We need you guys doing everything you can. And you have people out here behind me.
Let me just clarify that for one second. When I said we'll see where it goes, I mean, we'll see when the court establishes a court date. Because there has been back and forth about response times and, parties requesting additional time. So we'll see where that goes.
Okay, thank you for the clarification and all. Some of us, like myself, and all, no, this is no criticism of you guys. I've been here more than some of you guys have. I've been here every single Tuesday since December 30th. I know I'm not criticizing in any way, but we've got some really dedicated people, and we have dedicated people who work for the town, like Chief Matt over there, and JJ, and Radar. Radar works very hard.
Hi, my name's Atish Gupta. I live in Newton, New Jersey, and I'm part of the Democratic Socialists of America, North New Jersey chapter. I wanted to retouch on the points that some of the townspeople have brought up about DHS's plans to build a fence, to build other security measures on the site. I would like to suggest, similar to Ms. Oliveira, that you take the zoning protocols that she suggested to prevent the implementation of generators, security cameras, and the like. Is that something that you guys are considering? Is that something that I can expect to hear ordinances on at the next meeting?
Next question.
Okay. Can I, do I have the chair's permission to direct a question to Senator Gupta?
Ask it.
Okay. What is the legal, are the legal arguments that DHS is making about breaking development into 3 different sections, is that feasible? Is that going to hold up? And does your legal representation have any comments about that? Okay. Yeah, well, so some other people have asked what can they do. We are outside of the warehouse every Friday at 4:30, and we are keeping an eye on things, seeing if construction vehicles are coming. To my understanding, Mr. Murphy has also been out there, which we appreciate, to check to see if any construction is happening. So if anyone is interested, any of you are interested in helping us monitor the site, please contact me after this meeting. We can get you involved because we as the citizens are the first line of defense against incursions from the federal government. So we will continue to do that. And additionally, May 12th, the preliminary injunction hearing is that day. We are holding a rally in front of the Halls of Power to show our support for this council as well as the state government in their defense against, or in their case against DHS. You guys are all welcome to come there, and if anyone else wants to come, it's a weekday, so please make sure you take time off work. Thank you.
I would say not just welcome, but encourage you guys to come. That would mean a lot. Hello, my name is Zoe Best. I'm in Stanhope. I grew up here. I want to stay here and raise a family here. My home currently overlooks our beautiful Lake Musconetcong, but right in those mountains sits that ugly warehouse, and looking at it makes me sick. It's unsafe for humanity and it's unsafe for our environment, so I will keep showing up here and doing what I can. I hope you will do the same, and thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Veronica Fernandez. I live over in Long Valley, and I was here at that first meeting on December 30th when this news club broke and took everybody by surprise. And what I remember sitting in the audience, aside from all the people, was that your seal in the background with the teepee and the canoe. And I just thought there was a time when this area looked like that. And if we look around now, I'm sure we don't have any indigenous people in the audience, and I'm sure no one speaks Lenape. That we drove them out of this area, and now the people who originally lived here, their ancestors, are in desolate areas of the country. Then we had a civil war where people fought against each other because certain people thought other people had a right to own other people. And I just think we have a history of being on the wrong side of history. And who would have thought that here in Roxbury, of all places, you would get a chance to actually take something so devastating and be on the right side of history, on the right side of people, on the right side of rights. And because these people, I know a lot of undocumented people, and they're good, kind people who came here because of how our actions have undermined their countries. We have a history of getting involved in everybody's business and decimating, and then they flee here, and now we're turning them away for committing a misdemeanor. So in order to be on the right side of history, you need to be on the right side and now. And I applaud you for what you're doing to try to fight this. I know that we've got Democrats and Republicans and independents, but at the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, at the middle of the day, we're all just people trying to do better for our families. And we try to put all that other stuff aside and just try for once put us on the right side of history, of doing the right thing, so that when Roxbury has learned about 100 years from now. They're the ones who stood up to this. They're the ones who stood up against inhumanity for us. And what I really like, since I'm a roommate, I don't live here, and they've overpaid this, it is not fiscally responsible to deport 10 million people. You just can't do it. It'll bust this country. We're already busted. And how do you think terrorists are made? The children of the people that we're doing this to, that's who Hamas is. They're the adult children of Palestinians whose families were killed and homes were taken. The children are going to remember what we've done to their families, and it will come back to get us. We have to stop it now. And what I would really like to see is, in my wildest dream, is to take that property that our taxes paid more than double for and turn it into a center for citizenship. How cool would that be? And how much money would that save? And how kind would that be? If we actually made it a center for citizenship where we brought fellow immigrants in like our ancestors were. I just feel very strongly about this, and I compel you to look in the mirror and look in your hearts and think about being on the right side of history and what an opportunity you've been given to stand up to your party, how I've stood up to my party, and we stand up to this nonsense and we put people first. So thank you for listening. Thank you.
I think I said that in the event the lady just spoke here. I'm Lansing Holman. I've been in Roxbury for 20 years. I'm a member of the Human Relations Commission, Morristown Human Relations Commission. And as I said, I've been a resident of Ledgewood for over 20 years. Now, I don't care whether you're Democrat, Republican, or Independent. What we're looking at here is a humanitarian issue. And I heard about that child down in Morristown being accosted. That just broke my heart. It really did. And then to find out that they'll have the same issue here in my town that I've been in for 20 years at, it's heartbreaking again. We're better than that. We've done better than that. I look forward to you guys doing better than that. Let's do the right thing. Let's support our town. We support you. And again, it doesn't matter to me what political persuasion you are. But let's get this thing done. Let's stop talking about what we're going to do, and let's do something. And you've done some things, but let's do something else. You might have to do something a little bit different. We can't continue to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. Let's do something different. I don't know what it is, but you guys are smarter than I am. That's why you're there. We anticipate that you're doing something better, something different, something good to save this town, to save this community, and get that doggone place up out of here. Thank you very much.
We're in executive session tonight.
Yes.
Katie?
Topic would be, state of New Jersey, Township of Roxbury versus DHS.
That include DHS conversations with the Roxbury
State,
Resolution of the Council of the Township of Roxbury in the County of Morris, New Jersey, authorizing the conference of the Township Council with the public excluded, whereas it is the appropriate Township Council discuss the matters hereinafter mentioned without the presence of the public in accordance with the provisions of RS 10:4-12B, being Section B of the Open Public Meetings Act. Now therefore be it resolved by the Township Council of Township of Roxbury, litigation, Township of Roxbury, State of New Jersey versus DHS shall be discussed by the Township Council without the presence of the public.
Motion. Second. All in favor? We're going to go into executive. We will not be taking any action in executive. I don't have the time to